little bit crazy. Hi. All right, it's 6 o'clock. We're back in action. We took a commercial break, a long commercial break. But I know that Tama's son held it down yesterday as we kick back into our conversations, the future conversations with some of the past nominees, past winners of the Future Awards. Hang on, I made it. This is a typo here. I need to redo the topic here. So yes, we're back to our future conversations, which, as you remember, we kicked off just a couple of months ago, and this is where we sit down with some of Africa's change makers who've been honored by this platform in the past. Whether it be as nominees or as winners of various prizes and so forth. We just catch up with them through this platform, and we just find out what was the impact of the platform for them, on their lives, on their careers. So today is no different. We're going to catch up with Uche. She's a content creator as well. She also refers to herself as a farmer, so I can't wait to dig a little bit deeper into that aspect of her life, because what we know more of her is her life in in media and in content creation. So I'm just waiting for her to come online very soon, so we can kick off this conversation and just find out how 2020 has been for her. Now, in case you haven't heard of Uche Odoh, she's responsible for the web series called Life as It Is, which was a huge hit a couple of years ago. It was also nominated for an AMVCA for Best TV Series. For the Future Africa Awards, she was nominated for the prize for Best Filmmaker. So a lot to discuss there. She's also worked on The King of Boys and various other projects. So I'm really, really looking forward to having this conversation with the incredible talent that she is, and just tapping into her brain a little bit, and also hoping to find out what her plans are for the rest of the year. We are halfway through the year. Can you believe it? It feels like we spent half the year at home. We probably did, but we're gonna find out what she has planned for herself for the remainder of the year. So that's pretty much what we have in store for you for tonight's edition of the Future Conversations. I'm just waiting for Uche Odoh to come online. My network has been really unstable, so I'm hoping that hers is a little bit more stable, and hopefully in no time she will be online. And we're still celebrating, tongue-tied. We're also still celebrating some of the beating Corona heroes. So if you know anyone, or you feel there's somebody who deserves to be celebrated, who's done some incredible work during this pandemic, then please, by all means, make sure you visit the website. Okay, I see Visuals by Uche is online. And we're going to start this conversation. Woo-hoo. Okay, whenever the network allows us to. Wow, this is really life at the pace of, not really at the pace of broadband, but yeah. Remember, you're more than welcome to type any questions you may have in the comment section. Hello, Save the Boys Initiative, Bollocksy81. Hello, everybody. I'm waiting for Uche to connect. At this point, it's a network situation, so it just says waiting. If it takes too long, I'm gonna cancel and request to have her one more time. Hello to everybody waving. Hi, how's it going? Okay, this is taking too long, so I'm gonna cancel it and try again. Ew. Wow, technology sure is temperamental. Okay, all right. This is actually, wow. Okay. Uche, can you please send me another request, because I am trying to tap on this icon here that, oh, no, that's not what we're trying to do here. I'm trying to tap at this request to, okay, there we go. Now it has allowed me to do that. Okay, I'm trying to add you now. So I've sent the request. Sorry guys, we're dealing with some technological glitches, but hopefully we should be on track with this conversation in no time at all. I've sent the request for her to join, and I hope it connects any moment now. So today, again, in case you're just joining us, the Future Conversation is with Uche, who was nominated for the prize for Best Filmmaker for 2019. So that's just last year. And apart from that, she's also been nominated for AMVCA's, for an AMVCA actually, for her series Life as It Is. She's a photographer, content creator, and a farmer as well. And I don't know why technology is hating on this conversation. I really don't. I really don't know what's going on with this. But we're going to keep trying because this conversation is going to happen. It is going to happen. Okay, so I'm requesting this yet again. And let's see how it goes. So, okay, finally connecting. Hey, everybody. How are you doing?
I'm great. I've been trying to connect. The network
Yeah.
Hi.
I just told myself maybe because it's raining.
Oh, it's not raining here. Funny enough, it's not raining here. Yeah.
Anyway, at least we got it. We got it.
Yes, we did.
You look incredible. It looks like
Thank you.
It's been good to you. Tell me what you've been up to.
I've gained a bunch of weight that I'm trying to lose now. So
we're in this together.
It's easy.
Together, it's fine.
It's easier to gain weight than to lose weight. It's crazy. Right. So I'm trying to lose all that weight now because work starts soon. So I have to be up and, you know.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Are you starting? I know you guys have been figuring out ways to get back on set and to get creative again. So what are some of the projects that you've got going for the rest of the year?
Okay, so I actually have a film. I'm supposed to go on set and start shooting next week, but we're trying to sort out the test part of it because everyone has to get the corona test before we can be able to go on set. So we're still trying to figure that out between now and Saturday. So we should get the test done, and then by next week we're going to go on set. So I'm looking forward to that. I've been
right. You've been in the house, sitting in
the
house.
The pandemic caught us off guard, so it was just like nobody anticipated this. So we had to think on our feet. We've been at home I've been at home since March because I went for the AMVC. I was nominated for the AMVC, my series. So and we heard someone there was exposed to the virus. Yeah. So we already started self-isolating after the AMVC, which was like March 14th or 15th. So I've been at home since then. So I'm at that point where everything is just like packed up.
You know what? I'm glad you're talking about sort of your creative juices flowing and you wanting to get back into the mix because it makes me wonder what it is that makes you fall in love with filmmaking. What was it that lit up something in your heart and said, "This is what I want to do"?
So I'm not sure people know, but I used to model. So I actually started off modeling. I actually moved to Lagos from Enugu to Lagos, from Enugu, the eastern part of Nigeria, to Lagos, because I wanted to chase a career in acting.
Wow.
So from acting, I was part of Acting Malta Box Office, which was an acting reality show. So I was like the second runner-up or third runner-up. So after the reality show, I just stayed back in Lagos because I needed to figure out what I wanted to do next. Then I started modeling. So when I was modeling, that was what sparked the interest because I was always curious to know what was happening behind the camera. I always wanted to know why they were using the cameras they were using, why they were using the lenses they were using. So that just sort of sparked that curiosity. And I followed it because I was still in uni at the time. I just sort of followed it and, after I modeled for a while, I became bored and then TV production started. So from TV production, I have a cousin, Odoh, who is an actor, And like growing up, I used to go on set with her. So all those things I'd seen then, I needed my voice to be heard. And I realized that if I was in front of the camera, you know, but if I'm behind the camera and I'm calling the shots, I'll be able to, you know, pass the message I want to pass. People can be able to.
What you've just said is a major key. What you just said is a very strong statement.
Yeah. So, you know,
Society,
I was tired of complaining about same thing over and over again, you know. So I needed to make that change and be part of the change, you know. So that was why I just, you know what, film is my medium, photography is my medium. So whatever I have to say, I can say via this medium. So yeah.
And I mean, we all know, you know, how saturated the industry is and how many people are trying to break in. What would you say was your definitive moment that, you know, a project or a piece of work that you're involved in that you feel got your foot in the door?
Is there really a definite you just keep working, you know. It's nobody has it easy, you know. People always think, oh, because you know all these people, it'll be easy for you to get into the industry. So when I finished film school, I got a scholarship to go to Vancouver Film School in 2014. So I was in school for like a year, and then I moved back to Nigeria in 2015. So it was hard getting back to the industry, you know. Sorry, I can see my friends saying,
I see Sharon.
You know how Nigeria
coming to you for giveaways.
You know how Nigeria is. Like, if you leave for a while, it will take you a minute to get back into it. So I was gone for like about 18 months. So when I got back, it was taking a minute for me to. That kind of person who I don't sit and wait for things to be handed to me. I go for it. If I have a goal, if I set my mind to it, I just go for it. So I met, actually, I was on the job. I was shooting for India. Ari came to Nigeria at some point in like 2015 or like 2016. And I was shooting for her. I was shooting like a documentary for her in Nigeria. And at the show, at the concerts, I met Tope Oshin, and she was just sitting right here. Tope Oshin is like one of the biggest female directors in Nollywood. She was just sitting right there.
And I saw on your page that she's your mentor as well.
Yeah. And I walked up to her. Literally, I walked up to her and I'm like, see, ma'am, my name is Uche. I want to do this. I want to do that. When we talk about it, she's always like, wow, that, you know, the way you came up to me, I was like, who is this? But that's the kind of person I am. I wouldn't wait, you know, because I would have just relaxed and be waiting for. So just walking up to her, she saw that I was really interested and I wanted to do that. And she gave me, like, a month after that, she gave me an appointment, show up on set at 6 a.m. I was there for 5:30 a.m. That's how serious I am. So she saw all those things, and like her next project, she was like, you know what, come on board as a line producer. So that was my first project, Evo. And it was for African Magic. It was an African Magic production. I was the line producer for that project. So that was my first into Nollywood, and that just sort of opened the doors for me. After working with her as a line producer, I became her assistant director on a couple of projects, you know, and that was it. From there, 2017, I directed my first web series. But then filmmaking is not easy, because that web series took me about a year to finish up. Like a full year. Like there were so many times I wanted to give up. But in between that, I was still working as a crew member on set. So I was assistant director on a couple of projects. So King of Boys, Up North, Code Willow, Christmas in Lagos, a bunch of projects. I was the assistant director. So like all those experiences just prepared me for my own project. So I'm at that point where I'm directing now and I'm producing my own project, you know. Yeah, that has been the journey so far. So that's it from Tope Oshin up until now. Just
up until now. That's such an inspiring journey, because you know the growth is there. We see your passion and your enthusiasm, But let's shift
Yeah.
from to awards because traditionally when we speak film, when we speak television production, everybody is talking about AMVCAs, AMAs. There's sort of the
Yeah.
traditional awards that we know all filmmakers aspire towards. But then last year came the nomination for the Future Africa Awards. Is that a platform that you ever expected to be nominated for, or were you focused on just the movie awards?
So funny enough, when I was modeling, I wanted to be nominated for Best Model of the Year. So there was a category for that. Like way back in Future Awards, they had like Best Model of the Year or something like that. And I wanted to be nominated for that. So when that didn't happen, I was like, you know what? I like Future Awards. I followed them. So yeah, the nomination last year was totally unexpected. I wasn't expecting anything. I think it was that night when I got the email. I was like, wow.
Like that?
So it felt good to be recognized in your field. People always want to say, oh, it doesn't matter. But it felt good that people are watching, people are seeing what you're doing, and you're being recognized for it. So it did feel good. Like, it felt good to be nominated, yeah. Even though I didn't win. But I was even, just being nominated was like, you know what? You're doing something. Like, it just motivated me to do more. Because between then and now, I know what I've done, and it was all part of motivation from that.
Okay, so you would say that even though you didn't win, it drove you. It
Yeah,
inspired something in you.
yeah, it did. Like, it did. And every other person that was nominated in the category were strong contenders. I want to say I wasn't expecting to win, but
You're in good company. You were in good company,
yeah,
which is what matters most.
yeah, like the guy that won, I really like his works too, Dare Olaitan. So he's one of my favorite young Nigerian filmmakers. So I didn't mind, I didn't
Okay.
mind. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I know that feeling. I was looking at your bio earlier and I saw farmer. Can we talk about that? Because you know what, I love delving into that because again, there's so many stereotypes with the media and entertainment industry.
Yeah.
And a lot of people assume that because you're in this industry, you're one direction. So I'd
One
love to
direction.
know a little bit
No, of
more
course
about
not.
what a farmer. What are you farming?
So I have a degree in agronomy.
Come on.
So agronomy is the study of crops and the study of soil. So I did 5 years in university for that. But I never thought I was going to get back into it. But then you become a creative and you realize that the money comes and the money goes. So you sort of need another stream of income. Like, as a creative, you can't be doing just that. Like, that's where I am at the moment. Okay, see this pandemic, who has worked? Nobody has worked. Like, nobody has worked. So you have to have like multiple streams of income and never be boxed up. So I'm not boxed. In fact, a matter of fact, I have a food delivery company called Abacha Box. So we make like local African salad, but it's called abacha.
Okay.
So I'm doing a lot of things. I'm not trying to just be a filmmaker because I'm at that point where I'm supporting my dreams with my funds. So I'm still funding my dream myself. So I make money from this stream of income and I put it back into my passion. So that's the point I'm in now. Like, So yeah, Uche the farmer.
What do you think it's gonna take for us to get to a point where creatives can, focus on being creative as a full-time industry? Yeah.
I guess the industry needs to have a structure first, and get funding from governments, from non-profit organizations. Those are things we don't do. Nollywood is funded by individuals. Individuals bring in the money. So we need to get to a point where we get grants from governments. So that way we're not worrying about money. If I had access to funding, I think I would focus on only filmmaking and photography, but I don't have that. So when there is structure in the industry and we funding is accessible to us. That is what it will take for us to be focused on being just creatives.
Because I think a lot of people sort of get confused because when we hear the revenue, the box office numbers, and the numbers that are being called, and you look at the lifestyle of a lot of creatives, and everything is larger than life and luxurious, over the top. It's difficult to reconcile those realities.
But what I always say is like these people have been in the industry longer than us. Like, so these people you're talking about are people that have been there for like 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So the ones that are still, 5 years in the industry, we're still at that place where we are looking for all those things. So it's the people on top. It's like there's a food chain. So it's people on top that are chopping the money. Us, we are still like here, and it all takes time, like, to get there. Just keep working, just keep at it. You get there. There's money in the industry. Let me don't get it twisted. Like, we've seen the numbers in the cinema and all that, but it takes a minute to get there. It doesn't just happen overnight. It takes a minute to get there.
So is that a memo to everybody who wants to move?
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. I always feel like eventually when my money comes, people will say, is this not Uche that started? I've been grinding since I was 18.
Yeah.
I've been grinding since I was 18, like, no joke. I'm 30 now. So that's 12 years of constant, getting better, acquiring new skills, Yeah, so it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a minute, but just keep at it. Don't give up. It's not easy, but don't give up. Like, just keep at it.
And in the spirit of encouraging for up and coming, the awards are at the end of the year.
Yeah, I heard. I saw it.
So in this challenging year, it's been a tough year, but I want to know that a few people still stuck it out and were still able to get a few things done. If you had to nominate somebody in the same category that you were nominated in last year, that's the prize for filmmaking for 2020, who would you nominate? So that's somebody between the ages of 18 and 31.
And 31.
Who do you think? This is the future, and in a few years we'll be celebrating this person. And the future that you talked about, that person will be,
So see the difficult thing. So the normal everybody that knows me would know that I would want to nominate a woman, but there are not a lot of girls that are doing this, and like, I want to encourage more women to come into the industry, and don't be scared to show off your work. Like, a lot, like, what holds women back is fear. Like, they don't want to be seen as doing too much. They want to minimize their achievements. No, because now talking to you, I can't even think of any woman within that age range, that is doing filmmaking. So
at the moment.
I would go with AK. He directed Elevator Baby, so I'll go with AK. Yeah. He recently came on Netflix, so it was a really good movie, and I'd not seen it prior before it got to Netflix. So I'll nominate AK. I can't remember. I can't pronounce his last name. It's like Idozebi or something. But yeah, AK that directed Elevator
Baby. And because you mentioned Netflix very quickly, we always talk about new Nollywood, old Nollywood, the stars, the stars that are coming up now. And obviously, because of where the world is at the moment, it seems like Netflix has become the go-to for filmmakers, and it's become a bigger aspiration for a lot of people versus, cinema box office. For you, if you had a project in the pipeline right now, would you, and you only had to choose one, you had to choose between Netflix and cinema. I know it's hard, right? Where would you target your project at the moment?
At the moment,
because let's say COVID ends tomorrow, and cinemas are open as of next week. Would you still choose Netflix?
Sorry, I would choose Netflix for now because Netflix is a more global audience. Even if COVID ends tomorrow, it will still take a minute for everything to sort of stabilize. So I'll go with Netflix, because then everybody from every part of the world will watch it. That is why I put my web series on YouTube. Have you watched my web series?
I watched the trailer. I watched the trailer.
So that on YouTube because I wanted anybody from any part of the world to be able to access it. And my web series has close to like 1 million views on YouTube, you know, and it's from everywhere. Like when I check my back end, you see people from Pakistan, Iran, everywhere in the world watching it. And that's what I want to do. I want to tell my story. I want people to see what I'm doing. I feel like if it was last year, I would put my film in the cinema. If it was last year, then because if your film is in the cinema, eventually it will get like on a streaming platform, you know. But for now, I would probably just, you know, aim for Netflix and Iroko and every other like streaming platform because people have access to internet. Yeah.
All right, somebody's asking, what's the name of your web series? It's called Life and how do we search for it? What platform?
It's on YouTube. Yeah, so just search for Gosi TV, GOSI TV on YouTube. It's like 9 episodes, short and sweet, you know.
Salesperson.
Okay. So I actually own the channel is on, and the channel is for like young content creators. So we had a lot of we had a lot of things planned out this year to shoot, like a bunch of web series and whatnot. In fact, as a matter of fact, we're going to start one in March. Then COVID happened, and you know, now we've blown the money and we have to save money. You know, but the channel is that's what I'm doing to give opportunities to young filmmakers. I started that channel because young filmmakers don't really get opportunity. You have to literally fight your way to the limelight, you know. But if you have a platform where you can shoot something really nice and we'll just upload it for you for free, when the revenue comes, we split it. So you guys definitely check it out. Everybody that is tuned in, Bimbai, check it out.
I will check it out. I promise. Okay, so we need to round up, but very quickly, of course, you know, we can't ignore the fact that we are going through a global pandemic at the moment, but there are people across Africa who stood out because they've chosen to use their talent or their platform or their resources to contribute in one way or another towards making this pandemic a slightly more comfortable experience.
Yeah.
So we've got the Corona Heroes telethon that will be launching later on in the year. But I just want to know if you were to nominate somebody again from who you feel has made an incredible contribution during this period, who would you nominate?
Banky W. So Banky is part of an outreach called Lekki Food Bank. So during this period, I actually wanted to volunteer, but I never just got around into it. During this period, they just raised money and they were giving like food to like the homeless and like people who couldn't afford food. And they did that. And I think they're still even doing it. Him and the water broke, our church, the water broke. So I'll nominate Banky W because he's doing a great job. He's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, that's a good one, and I think it's being celebrated by a lot of platforms as well. So I'm with you on that one. That's incredible. Uche, it's only July, so last 6 months to experience more of your greatness and to the projects you have lined up. I'm glad you're getting back to work, back on set. And I wish you all the best. I'm gonna go.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I'm glad we did this. I'm hoping the year ends on a big note. I've developed like multiple web series. I have like 5 films ready to shoot. So I wasn't playing. Initially when the pandemic started, I was thrown a bit off guard, you know, when you've not really planned, like you were just getting ready to, because like it happened after the AMVC, I had all these plans, you know. And when the pandemic happened, I sort of went into my shell and I was confused for a moment on what to do. And you know what? I have to mention it. As creatives, we need to pay attention to our finances. We need to have savings. Because what has saved me during this period has been my savings. When it wanted to run out, I found another plan, you know? So creatives, everybody, just always have a plan to save and keep money for the rainy time. So I'm just hoping that the year, I hope this pandemic ends. Like, I'm tired. I need to work. I need to release my creative juice. I need to shoot. I need to direct, you know.
Yeah.
But it gave me time to reflect. It gave me time to plan and re-strategize, you know. So yeah, I'm hoping it ends and life comes back to normal.
Absolutely, absolutely. But in the meantime, we're still gonna do the most and do the best that we can.
That we can, yeah.
The situation at hand. Okay, have a wonderful week. Thank you again.
Thank you. I had a fantastic time. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. Bye, man.
Guys, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah.